I still have the sound on. I didn't sound like the camera started, and it was really weird because I'm not used to that. Not the point. Hi. It is January 1st, 2026. So, Happy New Year. Honestly, not much because like the week between Christmas and New Year's, because it's literally a week, because I record Christmas, record on New Year's, well, New Year's Day. Like not much happens. We're going to my grandparents' house for dinner at 4. Dinner never actually starts at 4, but it was like dinner's at 3, dinner's at 4, and it's like, why is dinner at 4? No one eats dinner at 4 o'clock. But it is. We're going to be taking a picture with all of the grandkids. So my sister and I, Jay, and her little brother. He's a baby, so can't even sit up yet. I don't actually know how he's gonna be in the photo easily, unless someone is holding him. Probably the best way. I don't know. Yeah, gonna be a grandkids picture. So my sister and I have to wear matching outfits. So we're wearing our Christmas pajama pants and plain black shirts. I'm just glad I have a plain black shirt because most of mine are patterned. I had this from when I did band because it was black pants, black shoes, and a white button-up. And then they changed it so it was all black. So I have a t-shirt from that. So, guess that came in handy because I don't wear this normally. Like, I'd either wear it for band or a plaid shirt that I had that's still in my closet that I don't wear anymore. I mean, it does fit. Just for t-shirts and hoodies. Speaking of hoodie, it's too warm in my room to actually wear it properly, but I still wanted it, so hoodie. It's a Jujutsu Kaisen one. So I have 2 anime hoodies now, because I have this one, and I have one of Baku's hero costume from My Hero Academia that my sister gave me. So, you can kind of see the text. It says Jujutsu Kaisen. It says on the front and the back, and then on the pocket it says Jujutsu Sorcerer. Okay, so dinner at my grandparents' house. I had therapy yesterday, so that was, it was therapy. I haven't had it in a while because with like winter break, and then apparently, she had like days off that wouldn't roll over into the next year, so she had to use it before the year ended. So it was just like a bunch of days in December she had time off, and it's like, So, between holidays and that, it was, a lot of time before my next appointment, and it was like that before, too, same thing, because I'm supposed to have it every 2 weeks, so it was a longer amount of time, so 2 appointments were scheduled last time to make sure that it wasn't a huge gap a third time. So I've been asked if I wanted to do that again, like schedule in advance to make sure. I was like, I think it's gonna be okay. So I think I have one like mid-January, because in December, mid-January, because it's 2 weeks. So yeah, therapy, which I ended up getting like really distracted talking about something with karate, but I'm very good at that, so I mean, I talked about sparring last week. So I ended up sparring again on Tuesday. It was a different instructor this time. The one who was supposed to be doing sparring still hasn't come back yet. I think he's supposed to be back next week. Is that what I was told? I don't remember. So a different instructor did the sparring. So we did something a little bit different. So instead of normal sparring matches, for a warm-up, we did free sparring. So instead of, like, organized match and there's a judge, you just keep doing it until you're told to switch. Because there was 4 of us, and so there's 2 people. It was 2 sparring matches happening at the same time. Instead of one going on, the judge sees a hit, judges call, and then either direction or, thankfully, excessive force was not necessary. But judges call for either person or didn't see anything. And then after the warm-up, we did, we had practiced a combination of moves. So, same thing, 2 sparring matches at once, because it was kind of like the free sparring. So one person was assigned where they were only allowed to attack. And they were only allowed to attack with kicks. And then the other person was only allowed to defend. So when a kick came towards you, you had to do the combination. So it would be, you would block the kick, you'd kick the person back, and then you'd punch them. Because it's similar to the one self-defense we were doing, because the exact moves for the self-defense you were not allowed to do in a sparring match. Because the actual combination ended with a heel palm, which you're not allowed to do. So instead, punch. That was probably unnecessary. Anyway, so we practiced that, and you gave feedback. Maybe we gave feedback in the sparring matches. I don't remember. I think it was the sparring matches. Yeah, you gave feedback in the sparring matches. The free spar, not the combination. The first time when we were practicing the combination, the person I was working with, she misunderstood what she was supposed to be doing. She was assigned as the attacker. So she kept punching me, and I was only allowed to defend. So that's what I was doing. Except I haven't gotten great at blocking punches. So normally my strategy is to move away. So I ended up accidentally backing myself against a wall. And then she kept attacking me. Thankfully, my instructor noticed and said that, like, she was only supposed to be attacking with kicks and the punch was, like, the person was defending. I can see why it can be confusing, though, honestly, because I hardly knew what we were doing. So yeah, that was interesting. And then the last thing we did was speed rounds. So normally it's 3 rounds for sparring, but this time it was 1 round. Whoever got a point would stay, whoever didn't would get back in line. Honestly, the speed rounds was really difficult because like normally you have 3 rounds to like try to get used to it, and then it was just like keep going. It's like so I kept needing to get back in line. That was great. And then I started it. So 2 people. I was in line, so that's the only reason why I actually saw this. So he had actually covered his eyes and had said that, like, I can't call it if I don't see anything. And the two people who were sparring were so focused on what they were doing, they didn't even realize the fact that he purposely making sure he didn't say anything. But he stopped and, like, actually judged. But it's like, why? Why would you purposely cover your eyes just for a joke that the people sparring aren't even gonna notice? Because they're too focused on what they're doing. One thing I will say, the one person who was sparring, because she was there last week, she's good. So, I don't know how long she's been doing sparring, but I do know before it was because sparring wasn't during class, it was a separate time between classes. So the kids and the adult class would be sparring at the same time. So, like, I knew she's been sparring for a while when that was still a thing. Then she got a junior black belt. She got moved up to the adult class. So, she's kind of short, but she can spar against people who are older and bigger than her and do well. Not just hold her own so she, like, doesn't get hit, but she can hit back. So she's good. Because like I said, I've only seen her spar a handful of times. But I have more because I'm actually doing sparring now. But I talked about how there was, because last week it was 4 people. It was, so I was doing it, my friend who had passed her black belt test, there was this girl, and then there was someone else from the class who was taller than all of us. She could hold her own against him. And she was the smallest one in the sparring group, both last week and this week. Because this week, I was doing it, she was doing it. I think it's about her age, but she's really tall. I don't know how tall she is, actually. Another one of my friends in karate, when I've practiced, like, self-defense with her, she's been able to kick me in the shoulder. Like, the back of my shoulder, because guarding stance. I'm 5'1", and she can kick high enough to kick me in the shoulder. So, yeah. I don't know, like, as far as kicks, she's really good. I was actually talking to her yesterday about sparring, because, like, the one of you actually, I'll talk about that in a second. And then the last person was actually one of the parents in the class, because it's teens and adults for the adult or senior class. Everyone just calls it the adult class, though. Even though the actual title, because it's the junior black belt track, the kids class, and the senior black belt track, which is the adult class. So one of the parents in the class, also taller. But besides that, I don't see him in class a lot, so I can't really say as far as, like, was good in class. But yeah, the girls from it, it's honestly impressive. Like, she does well against, like, right at different skill levels. A lot of times, people that are bigger than her. Like, that's awesome. I want to spar against her more. I'm probably going to keep getting hit, but I want to spar against her more. Because I worked with her in class some, and, like, she's really good at martial arts and, like, what we're doing. So, yeah. Okay, So, I was talking to my one friend yesterday about some of the feedback she gave me during, like, while we were sparring. Because, like, when she switched her guarding stance, so did I. And, like, when she moved around, so did I, and I wasn't really doing it myself. Because I'm very new to sparring still, and I don't really know what to do. So that's some feedback she gave me about, like, I just follow what other people do. So, like, not following, but, like, taking the, as far as, like, moving around, and it's like, okay. But something I thought about yesterday, and I text her, is the fact that, because I've, like, practiced holding targets with her before, a lot, because I worked with her on my first day there. Well, my first normal class, because everyone's first class is in the intro room, which has, like, a small mat. So it's just you and one of the instructors. She's actually the enrollment director. So a lot of times she's not out on the mats occasionally. Like, she was the one who was doing the sparring the first 2 weeks I was doing it, because the person who normally does it wasn't there. But she's the enrollment director. So normally she's in the office or doing, like, first class in the intro room, private lessons. But that's not really the point. So my first full class, normally new students get paired with someone who's been there for a while, so they can help them out during class. So I got paired with her, and so she was buddy, like, for that class. So, like, when we're doing partner work, it's like, okay, well, you're the only person who I even know your name. So, I do, like, work with her. So even now, like, I know other people, there are certain people where it's like, I know I like working with you, I know I like working with you, I know I like working with you, and Jay's one of them. So we practice, the whole target, let's just say it was jab cross. So both in your guarding stance, moving around, jab cross, eventually we're told to switch, so I enter the targets. But my point of bringing that up is the person holding the targets is, like, the leader. If that makes sense. I was like, if you're gonna, like, switch guarding stance, that you communicate with your partner. But as far as moving around, that's just something you do as a target, and you're the target holder, and then your partner has to follow because they have to hit the targets. So I'm so used to, like, one person does something and then I follow. So I brought that up, and it's like, that might have been why, because it became a habit. It's like, that's a good point. And then something she responded with was, at least for her, if she's sparring against someone who is better at it than she is, then her brain, like, dubs that person as, like, the leader. So, like, if you're sparring against our instructor, then, like, kind of follow. But some people, it's like, oh, we have different strengths doing this, so it's like, it's kind of hard to. It's like, and she was like, oh, I explained it really badly, I'm sorry. It's like, I think I know what you mean. I don't know how well I explained it, because I'm doing this from memory from yesterday. But it's interesting how it's just, like, I feel it's, like, a bit of psychology in that. So yeah. But as far as, like, the switching guarding stances, I feel like it's easier to spar if you're in the same guarding stance. And, like, that's a thing where it's like, if you're working at partners, you have to be in the same guarding stance, because it just makes everything easier. So, like, you're in your right guarding stance, your partner has to be in the right guarding stance, and that's normally the one we work with. But if you're in a left guarding stance with your partner, or if your partner's in their left, then you have to be in your left guarding stance. That's just how that works. So, that's why I was kind of following. I was told by someone else that I hesitate. It's like, yes, I know I hesitate. I'm trying. Because it is difficult, because, like, I don't know what to do, and that's why I keep going to sparring, because I'm trying to practice, like, being more aggressive and, like, not hesitating as much. I didn't have any feedback, because you were supposed to give feedback to your partner. I didn't have any. It's like, I barely know what I'm doing. I can't tell you what you should improve on, because I don't even know. Like, I don't know what I need to improve on. I can't tell you what you need to improve on. It's very difficult. It's also very hard to talk with a mouth guard in. That's just a fact. It's hard to talk with a mouth guard in. They're really uncomfortable. I actually bought smaller mouth guards, so hopefully that should help. You just have to fit them, because you have to boil the mouth guard. Make sure it's not super hot, but enough that like it molds, and you put in your mouth, so then it can like mold to your teeth. So we need to do that. Because we did that with my first one, but I got new ones. So, and thankfully, those have a case. Like, I don't have a case from the mouth guard I got from the school with my sparring gear. So, I was just putting it in a bag, but then after sparring, my mouth guard's dirty, but then I just drop it in the bag because I don't know what else to do with it, and the bag's gross, and I don't want to use the bag again. So, I actually have a case now, which is really nice, because then I can actually, like, clean the case, especially since I wear retainers, because I had braces, and then you have to wear retainers. So I clean my retainers every week. I normally do that on Wednesdays. So, sparring Tuesday night, and then I can clean my mouth guard on Wednesday, because I can just clean it with my retainers, because I actually check the box of what I used to clean my retainers, and it's like, oh, you can use it for retainers, you can use it for sports mouth guards, so. Because according to because everything was obviously in the package, in the sparring bag, I actually read the thing on the mouth guard, and according to the thing, like, you can just rinse it with warm water. I don't really like that, though. So, I'm glad that I already have some kind of cleaner, so I can just put my mouth guard into. I didn't actually clean my mouth guard yesterday. I barely remember to clean my retainers, so I didn't do that. Honestly, that's kind of it. Because, like, not much happens between Christmas and New Year's. I didn't even do anything for New Year's. We did a movie night. Because we ended up not going to my grandparents' house, which is what we normally do. I ended up going to bed, not early, but I didn't stay up until midnight or later, because I'm on medication to help me sleep now. So, I slept very well. I actually slept in because I was very tired. Last night was just, like, emotionally draining. So, we had watched the Clue movie, which I got from my neighbor. Because she had texted me, like, oh, I have your birthday present. And she gave me the Clue movie. It's like, ooh. Because I loved playing Clue with her. So, she ended up finding a copy of the movie. The movie's apparently from the 80s. I didn't know that. And then I looked it up because I got curious about, like, when that came out compared to the 50th anniversary version of the game. Because the 50th anniversary of the game It's really nice, by the way. My neighbor has a copy. Instead of like plastic colored pieces for the characters, um, it's like full metal figures with just colored bases, so you can tell who's who. And all the weapons are like metal pieces, and they actually added poison. I call it fancy glue. Because it's just really nice. But apparently the 50th anniversary came out in 1994, 1995. The movie came out in the 80s. So it was before the 50th anniversary of the game. And the reason I was curious was because the movie had all the original weapons. And while there was a mention of poison, no one was actually given poison, which makes sense. Because the number of original weapons and the number of characters matches up. So you couldn't really give someone poison. Because they were all given a box with a weapon in it. But with the mention of poison, it's like, did this come out like around the time of the 50th anniversary? Because even though they didn't actually have it, it was still mentioned, and that's something that's never even mentioned in the original game. It came out before, apparently. I don't even know why they added poison in the 50th anniversary version. But anyway. So yeah, watched the Clue movie, and then because my mom and my sister didn't care. So I ended up putting, because I was just looking through movies we had, I put on Pixels. It's a video game movie. Basically, there was a gaming competition in the 80s, and they had recorded it and sent the tape to space. Aliens found it and thought that the video game footage was a declaration of war. So then they attack Earth. That's the plot of the movie. I'm not going to spoil the movie, but that is the plot of the movie, which you find out very early, so. It was one of my favorite movies when I was a kid, because I just thought the video games were cool. So it's a PG-13 movie. I was 7 when it came out. But because I was just interested in the video game and like the language and everything went over my head, I was still allowed to watch it. This was not clicking. So I kept asking my mom why I was allowed to watch it. And it started to bother her. And I didn't mean to. And then I felt bad about it. And then my brain wouldn't shut up. So then I ended up hiding in my room, and I felt like I ruined movie night. So that was great. I did end up talking to my mom about it, and it's like, oh, that's why. Because I wasn't understanding, so I kept repeating my question, and I didn't understand what I was doing wrong. So like I said, I did talk to her about it, but it was emotionally exhausting. So my sister ended up going to call one of her friends because they had asked. I told my mom because I was still kind of like, so I asked if I could tell her about quirks because that's something I like talking about. She said I could, so I talked to her about quirks for a bit, and then I got really tired, so I got ready. I went to bed. Not before bothering my sister, though, because she was still on the phone, and I was only hearing half the conversation. But her friend was, like, kind of jokingly bothering her about something, and I was like, yeah. I don't even remember what it was. Well, the first thing I had backed her up on, because, her friend was calling her emo, and her and I have actually talked about it, and she said she's more goth, I'm more emo. I'd said, and then it was something else that I actually backed a friend up on, and then I was laughing. The fact she was like getting kind of annoyed because it's my job. I'm the younger sister. It's my job to be annoying. Like, I'm glad you find my misery funny. It's fine though. She wasn't actually upset. I wouldn't have been laughing if she was. I'm really bad at explaining things, and I barely remember what happened before I went to bed last night. My memory is really bad, which is a symptom of autistic burnout. Yay! I found that out because that was actually, masking was gonna be one of my lessons for school. I haven't actually done it yet. Which with my sister being home, like, took a break from school because there was some like holiday themed assignments we were supposed to be doing, and then I think my mom forgot about them, so we only did the one, which was the debate about Santa Claus. We didn't do the thing that was, because there's supposed to be one for elves, and there was supposed to be one for the Grinch, and we didn't do them. So I think my mom forgot. I started watching My Hero Academia with my sister. We're only a few episodes in, and both of us got very annoyed about how some things were handled. Because she apparently got certification for, I don't remember the actual name, but triage in like a disaster situation where there's a lot of casualties. So how to like properly assess the like medical attention someone needs and whether or not they can be saved. So seeing it being poorly handled in the show, she was just like, ah. And even I haven't gotten any training like that, obviously, but even I was like, that doesn't seem right. And she confirmed it, so yay. But yeah, we are gonna be going in like an hour. I talk too much, and the annoying thing is because I'm sorry that like everyone ended up so late last week, but so the amount of time, like the video length, will determine how long it takes to get it up, because it has to be uploaded to YouTube. There's checks that have to be done for copyright, which thankfully don't take long, and then processing. I don't even know what the processing is. I don't know how this works. The thing that takes the longest is the uploading, and because of the video length last time of like 45 minutes, it for some reason took 2 hours. Except it didn't take 2 hours because I had to go to my dad's, so I tried to like let it run in the car, but it just wasn't working. It didn't stop, but it didn't like continue doing it. So it was however long at home. Dad came to pick my sister and I up, and I turned on the hotspot on my phone, which didn't actually do anything. So it was an hour of it not making any progress, and then I connected to my dad's Wi-Fi. Thankfully, it was fine from there. But that is why it ended up so late, because the longer the video, the longer it takes. So this one will probably also take a bit, and I don't know how long I'm going to be at my grandparents' house, and I actually have to hit post even after all the stuff is done. So even if I let it upload and like do the checks and everything while I'm not home, until I get home, it's still not going up. So obviously no one's gonna see this until at the end, but I guess I just want to say, because I don't record at a certain time every day, so that already like kind of throws things off, and then the more I talk, the longer it takes. So, because I don't edit these. I originally did this to learn editing, and then I just kind of gave up on that. So, yeah, if anyone sees this, like the end of this video, because I don't know like how much people actually watch, but whatever. That is why sometimes it ends up so late, especially like last week. I think I might have not ended up there until like 9 o'clock. I recorded at, I think it was at like 3-4 o'clock. So yeah, I think I recorded it. I started at like 3 something. So I stopped the camera close to 4. That was up at like 5. So by the time it was up, I think it was like 8 o'clock. So it took hours to actually get it up because it's just one problem after another. Okay, I'm gonna stop complaining about problems with YouTube. I probably shouldn't be doing this in a YouTube video. Woo. So, like I said, there's not really much. I say that and yet I ended up talking for over half an hour. Anyway, but like I said, we have to go to my grandparents in less than an hour now. So I'm just gonna chill until then, make sure I actually have the social battery. Because family can be a lot. Well, it depends on who's invited, but sometimes they can be. I love them, but sometimes they can be a lot. So, stay safe and have a good day.